Good morning, people. I just woke up and watched a short video on YouTube from another person that is talking to the so called chosen community. Yes. Yeah, so on YouTube, on social media, there is this community, people calling themselves the chosen one and speaking to the chosen. And there is one person who claims that he has been very influential and started all this, but he recently turned against the chosen community because he says, this is not what I intended to do, and these people are not what I see as a chosen person. Now, most people of these community agree that a chosen person is different in a certain way and following Jesus Christ, the Bible, holding themselves accountable, which means obeying the commandments and following God in this sense. Often these channels are also combined with narcissistic awareness and personality development features, and also narcissistic abuse recovery. The chosen community says, or the narrative there is that we, the chosen, are detached from the world. We are not of the world, and this comes from the Bible. Um, and this is why we are hated in the world. And they also call the world matrix the 3D, the material world, which we are detached from. And the thing is this: most of these people went through an awakening, which is often has been some form of narcissistic abuse or something, and they call themselves empathetic, empath, super empath, and whatnot. Now, I want to keep it reflected, real, and to be honest, I think this message might resonate with a lot of people. One of the biggest fears of people who went through narcissistic abuse, um, of self-aware people, always, self-blame is always there when you reflect, when you introspect. You always look, what is my part? What is that fight that I'm fighting for? Do I project, is the thing that I'm fighting for maybe coming from myself? And very often the opposition, the narcissistic opposition, of course, tries to make you believe exactly, to try to feed this self-doubt, or try to use this feature that empathetic people have to look for their part in any conflict. A narcissist would never look for his part, they blindly fight. Of course, there are huge differences between a narcissist and I can only speak of myself. I am not in the head of any other person or in the flesh of another person. So I can speak about myself, that I am not manipulating people purposely, or also a narcissist or psychopath would never go into isolation willingly or live alone willingly and the more he can detach from other people's energies, the more the person strives. So this is true for myself. And, you know, well, it's dangerous to explain oneself, so I'm stopping here, but um, I'm just saying there is huge differences. When we do introspection, when we reflect ourselves, there are huge differences, of course, between what how we would describe a narcissist and how we behave. But still, we're looking for our part in this. And to be honest, one of the biggest fears of a narcissistic abuse victim is to become or be narcissistic too, because it's a well-known fact that um, the result of a long narcissistic abuse cycle can be CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. You can check out the symptoms in the internet. And victims that suffer this are almost indistinguishable from narcissists. And this is not a surprise because when persons have suffered years long of projective identification that narcissists do on them, and projecting negative energy traits, negative energy and negative personality traits on a person. Um, I mean, it's not a surprise that these people can take on this energy, okay? Also, in my opinion, the biggest trick the narcissist does, in the end, when you're going through this card, but this is not the end, there are more phases, of course. Um, the narcissist do certain tricks that are not spoken about very much, and that is they treat you in a way to make sure that you will hold grudge against them, and this is also aimed to make you act out. It is a preparation for the smear campaign that they will do, which means they talk bad about you. They will tell everyone that what they did to you, you are accountable for it. You are responsible for it, or you did it, or you did things straight that you never did. And the preparation to fit in this smear campaign is treating you in a way that you will reactively um, do things that are, low vibrational, so to say, and then they say, look, this person, what he does, yeah. Um, so the biggest fear of narcissistic abuse victims and chosen ones probably is to be narcissistic, because when you say I'm chosen, I'm better than others or something like that, this is how it's perceived often. And then there is even people who say these are chosen, these are not, and this is not right. So comparison, to compare yourself to others, is also a very narcissistic trait. So I just want to keep it very reflected and ask these questions and put them in the room. Um, but I wanted to point out also another thing that is very strange, and that is we chose this path and this path chose us. And it means that we really consciously decided to say, all right, I don't need the validation of other people, which is also um, something we learn from narcissists, because narcissists need the validation of other people daily, in every moment, kind of desperately. This is why they have to be abusive, because they don't come in with the option of human contact, but with the um, urge, and they have to force it. No. So we consciously, willingly detached from this also, and then it will happen that everyone around us And also because of the narcissistic discard and smear campaign and preparation coercive control. But on the other hand, we change rapidly, and people, nobody will like it. People will find it very strange, very crazy that people live this way. And the funny thing is, when you then break, when you be pushed over because everybody says you're crazy, nobody believes in you, everybody turns away from you. Um, when you break, nobody cares, you done. But when you are happy and prospering, then the people say this person must be crazy. How is the person, how can he live that way? While a chosen person will ask back, well, you have everything in your life, a big car, validation from a certain circle of people, um, success, money, you name it. And yet I would not want to live your life. For me, this life, what you have, um, I don't want it, okay? And I don't want to compare myself to you. And if I would say more, they would be insulted. But why? Why? I didn't start in the first place. If somebody questions me, are you crazy? Why are you happy without all these things? And I tell them back how I see them, they will be insulted, right? So this is I'm not giving you any solutions or statements today. I'm just giving you a thought process to reflect over, right? Check yourself. And I'm also saying no chosen one is perfect. Um, we might live as good as we can according to the commandments and following our ethical and moral and code. But no one is perfect, and we're not better than others. We just choose our path, and we like to be just left and accepted. Left alone and accepted. We don't want to compare with others, or we don't want to compete with others, right? We have the ideas of brotherhood actually, but this very sadly doesn't work in today's society very well.